Today is April 17th, 2026. Happy Freedom Friday. Today we are exploring Santee, east side of San Diego County. My name is Coach Ruben Austria from Lifeline AI.
My name is Chris Astillero with Exchange Resources.
Welcome to Learn San Diego Live. Chris Cadillac Astillero, my
Hey,
brother from another mother, man. You are
Coach
back
Drew.
from spring break, my man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just got back from Big Bear, went up to the mountains, fresh, clean air. I just needed to reboot and relax and decompress. I feel amazing now. Thank God I'm back. I feel great. Thank you so much for having me back.
Of course, of course. We always allow the best back, brother. So I was in Big Bear. We were probably breathing the same wonderful nature air, and eventually we'll be learning Big Bear live as well at some point. So I'm sorry, I was in Big Sur. My bad. But yes, it's going to be an amazing show. As I mentioned earlier, we are in the town of Santee, east side of San Diego County, with Mr. Chad Sliwa and of Sellstate Next Gen Realty. There's always amazing agents that get produced out of there. So it's going to be a great time. Before we get into that, I want to mention something that we're going to have at 2:00 today. Again, we are revolutionizing real estate education by providing you real people, real deals, real events, real news in real time on the live. But at the same time, we want to introduce you to these people who can get it done for you. So today in Del Mar, we have almost 40 RSVPs for amazing property called the Sky Deck as part of the One Paseo development. We've actually talked about it on her live on Anastasia actually is live, and it's just going to be it's going to come to fruition today in the afternoon. So hopefully we'll make sure to post that LinkedIn so you can RSVP. It's going to be an amazing event. But before we get into the rest of the show, we're going to start off with likely the most important part of the show: learning local news.
All right, everybody, welcome to Learning Local News. And the reason why we have the news is because there's a lot of fake news out there. So before we dive in, let's thank our sponsor. Located in Rancho Bernardo, we've been around for over 26 years and we've done over 60,000 tax deferred exchanges. If you don't do a 1031 tax deferred exchange, you could be faced with about 30 to 40% in taxes, right? Wouldn't you rather roll that over into the next property so that you can buy more with it? Well, we're here to give you your options. Let's talk. All right, San Diego, thank you again, Exchange Resources, for sponsoring this segment of the show. I'm super excited today because we're going to be talking about investment properties and the 1% rule, how investors find cash flow deals in 2026. But what is the 1% rule? The 1% rule basically indicates that you calculate the sales price and multiply it times 1%. If the total rents are equal to or greater than that 1% calculation, then it's worthy of consideration. If it's below, maybe you shouldn't even be looking at it. But we're going to be bringing in our subject market educators here who are knowledgeable, and we're going to get their thoughts on the 1% rule. Martin, what do you think?
Hey everyone, it's Money Making Martin with Oak Rock Realty. That being said, the 1% rule, I'm not the biggest fan of, just because it's not really applicable in San Diego as much as other markets, just purely because of the state of our market and the state of our economy. That being said, most of the deals you will be finding are going to be anywhere from the 0.4 to 0.6 or even the 0.7s. And you can use those as kind of like a filter to find a good cash flowing property where you can add value, add an ADU, do some sort of lot split, or just see potential in the future. Just make sure you're finding one that doesn't have any red flags like deferred maintenance, they've pulled all the money out of the property, or just something that could be a big red flag. But just don't expect the 1% deal to just fall in your lap. Nicole, what do you think?
Totally true. Nicole Turner here from Sellstate Next Gen Realty in Miss Lakeside. I agree with you 1,000%, Martin. I think the biggest thing is it's a great filter to make the really bad deals go away. But truly, like, every story is so different. And I look at like rental demand, my area, my turnover, and the long-term approach sometimes also with those investors to figure out if it's going to be something that is a true deal killer, meaning lots of losses that are going to take too much time in the demand that we're in right now, which I think is so much more important than any 1% rule here in San Diego County. What do you think, Miss Vista?
Hi there. Yeah, Stephanie Sundell with LRS Realty. Unless you have a really large down payment, it doesn't really work in San Diego unless, like what Martin said, is putting an ADU or a tiny house in the back. I work for a tiny house manufacturer, so let me know if you need one. That is definitely the way to help out with the 1% rule. But the other way is pad split. So this is a company that just basically started, is working towards helping the workforce find housing. So they find the investors, get the 4-bed, 2-bath house, and then change the dining room into a bedroom, change the living room into a bedroom, and maybe even the garage. And now you have more of a dorm type atmosphere, but boy, does that bring in your ROI. What do you think, Chad?
Hey everyone, Chad Sliwa here with Sellstate Next Gen Realty. Thanks for having me on today. For me, the 1% rule is step one. After that, I'm looking for actual return on the money I invested, what the property is producing, independent of financing, and what's left after all expenses. That tells the real story. It's not about a deal looking good. It's all about how it performs. What about you, Tracy?
Oh,
You're on mute.
mute. Tracy.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Tracy Hassey, Super Connector, VP of Escrow Sales for Ticor Escrow Services. So grateful to be with all of you here today. Thank you, Coach Rue, for this dream that you have brought to life and including us. So, the 1% rule. I really see that as an initial screening tool, not the green light, because you can still look at those metrics, would you say, guys? And it's not going to get the deal closed. And really, investors today are choosing between cash flow markets, is what I'm finding, which are more Midwest secondary markets. And then we have, of course, the lovely San Diego, coastal Southern California, through San Diego County is so many opportunities. You're going to be learning about Santee today. So I think investors here in California are really looking at more of an investment strategy. And what else? What are your thoughts on that, everybody?
Well, hey, the reason why we do all this is because, I see, just like everyone else and our viewers, consumers, seeing all these TikTok videos, YouTube shorts, and just kind of generalizing, a lot of these different real estate investing trends, when in reality, it only works in certain areas, right, guys? So obviously that's what, to echo what everyone said. And if that's the value, if that's enough value for you to keep watching, I suggest that you do. So instead, we got to get to the rest of the show. It's going to be amazing. That's just a tidbit of what you're going to find for the rest of the show. But, if this is your first time watching, I really want to go into the introduction of what LEARNin Local Live is. LEARNin Local Live is the very first real estate live streaming platform where real estate professionals can essentially authenticate themselves to the people that are watching and consuming all the information that we know we really want about real estate education. Our goal is to educate, inspire, and empower real estate professionals, real estate investors, homeowners, community folks, anybody who really creates the community for their own local area, to be educated so that, they really succeed. We are here to help people on their journey to wealth, and real estate is proven to be really the #1 driver of wealth for folks. How do we do that? It's simple. We connect, collaborate, and create opportunities and ideas I got muted. I'm so sorry. We do all this live, and stuff like that happens because you know what, we're live, and we're not actors, we're not AI. It's amazing to have you all folks here. I asked Chris, but how was everyone's this past? It seemed like spring break was just just passed. So did everyone have a great time during their spring break?
Yep,
Oh,
I did.
It worked.
absolutely. But it seems like it went from
What
winter
spring
to
break?
summer.
I'm sorry.
It seems like it went from winter to summer, and I love the weather. I mean, I'm so grateful to be here. I mean, yes, we pay a lot of high prices for real estate, but you know, we enjoy all the benefits with great weather. So I'm happy to be here. I love it. I love San Diego.
Any
Anyone
Padres fans?
else go interesting? Anywhere interesting for the past 2 weeks? Please.
Ended up in Yuma where it's even hotter, but that was a huge fun. Colorado River, you can never go wrong on that river.
If you haven't already, Padres games right now are pretty peak. They've been amazing, and all the games have been extremely fun. Like I was there yesterday, walk off in the bottom of the 9th inning. So if you can, go watch them. Go support the team.
Nice.
Well, and another thing you want to look at, you know, we're in Coronado and we hear the concerts at the Rady Shell, which is downtown right next to the convention center. It is extraordinary. And if you haven't been, you want to go. They built it and it opened just a few years ago here in San Diego, right on the San Diego Bay. And it's so much fun. And then you can walk around San Diego Seaport. So yeah, we are in such, and no matter where you are in San Diego, you can get to it relatively quickly, even from Santee.
Yeah. Awesome. Chris, you wanna are you gonna lead us into our educator segment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously the mountains are beautiful, the beaches are beautiful, everywhere is beautiful. This is the land of paradise. So thank you all so much for being here today. Without you, we wouldn't have a show. So now, with that in mind, let's get into the next segment of our show and get into it and meet our subject market educators. All right, and the reason why we have our subject market educators here is because they're here, they're live, and we want their knowledge about what's going on in real estate. But before we get started in meeting our subject market educators, let's thank our sponsor. All right, everybody.
That AI version wasn't as handsome as me. I'm sorry.
They got to meet you live today at 2:00.
Yeah. I think it's well done. Well done.
It was
looks
well
really
done.
good. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know.
You didn't pose for that? You didn't actually do that?
So, hey, it's all about Santee, y'all. It's gonna be man. I gotta tell you, I hardly ever go to East County, but I'm glad we have East County folks here to really talk about what's going on, and that's why we have our educators, because you know the whole point of Learning Local is to bring people who are really like local to the area to be talking about the area and really just have people understand why they should buy or live or rent there, you know. So that's why we're here. That's what we're up to. All our educators are ready, and we gotta transition into our Learning Local insight. So let's do that right now.
Hi there, Stephanie from LRS Realty, also Tiny House Realtor. So what is the best way to learn about a city is to actually ask the person that lives, breathes, walks that city. And that is Chad. Chad, thank you so much for joining us. So you're going to give us a little bit of insight, obviously, on Santee today. Let us know, quality of life, market trends, any economic development What have
Let's
you
pay
got?
our bills first, though. We gotta let the let's acknowledge our sponsor, Stephanie. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'll acknowledge our sponsor.
Protection that puts you first. Your home and your family deserve security, stability, and peace of mind. For every mile, every moment, every memory in motion. Because every drive deserves to get you home safely. Comprehensive solutions that safeguard your operations, assets, and future. Farmers Insurance, because your life deserves protection that truly matters.
Sorry, Patrick. Didn't mean to bypass you. But now, Chad, take the floor. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, as a native East Countyan, I know Santee like the back of my hand. Santee is a perfect mix of balance, community, and commute. Santee gives you San Diego without all the chaos. About 20 minutes to downtown and the beach, but way more relaxed. It's a community where people actually know their neighbors and not just their parking situations. By the way, I've yet to run into a paid parking lot in Santee. And for military families, commute matters. You've got Naval Base San Diego and Marine Corps Air Station Miramar without living in the middle of everything. There's an abundance of parks, trails, good school, and Santee is very family oriented. I mean, who doesn't love Santee Lakes in the summertime? Or my first pick to watch fireworks on the 4th of July. So awesome. And Santee has high home ownership, which means people take pride in where they live. Bottom line, Santee is where you go when you want San Diego and a little breathing room.
Nice.
And how are the prices out there? Tell me about what are we talking about for like first-time home buyers?
Not even the pricing, but like the quality of life in general. Chad, what are you seeing in that area? Like, is it super nice? Is it super relaxed? Is it safe? Is it not safe? What would you recommend for someone moving into this area?
Yeah, you're moving into Santee. You're wanting to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city. I mean, there is a little bit of a commute, but you're really close to everything. But Santee really has that community feel. There's not a lot of commercial. There's not a lot of industrial areas. It's really mostly residential and a family community. And I would say there's a good portion of military residents as well. So the safety and security in Santee, I think, is top notch out of the East County.
What I love, I'm over here in Lakeside, which is a little more east, right? And what I love about Santee is, to me, I call it the Mission Valley of the East County, because all of my favorite stores are there. All of the things that I love. I don't have to go through the craziness of the traffic in Mission Valley. And what's really ironic of the whole thing is, right, Mission Gorge, Santee is right here, then you go over Cowles Mountain, and then Mission Valley is literally on the other side of that mountain. But they're the same fun and both great residential places. I'm more urban on this side, right? But Santee just has so many different things that make it convenient for families. And I think there in Santee as well, your price point, we're going to get to that, is something that's a lot more affordable, like out here in Lakeside. But I know in my world, it's like, where am I going for shopping? I'm going to Santee. They're putting a Ross finally here in Lakeside, and some other stores are starting to open up here. And you guys, I mean, I know, Chad, you grew up here like I did, and we watched the 52 come in, right? Remember back in the days, there was no 52, y'all. It was a very big talking point, and Santee used to be a lot like Lakeside. If you wanted to compare like country atmosphere, very quiet, not very many shopping stores, you know, and then the 52 came in, and there was a lot of anger back then because we were taking out homes and we were making headway for growth. And ever since then, it's like, it's been crazy since then, and watching it continue to expand and more residential and more condos. When you watch investors continue to build in a city, you know that the return there is strong and steady, because they don't build where they're not going to make money. That is just the true story. Too. Yeah. Stephanie, what are your thoughts there?
Oh, well, for first-time home buyers, you know, that's a big part of my niche. And I show a lot in Santee and also in Lakeside too. It just seems to be the groundbreaking kind of price point for the first-time home buyers, something that they can afford, and it's not too far away. Like what Chad said, just a few minutes to downtown. And yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. I want to learn more about it. What about like farmers markets? I would think there's a huge farmers market atmosphere out there. I'm big into that.
A lot of things happen at the Santee Town Center. So like the Christmas tree lighting happens there, or Santee Lakes. Santee Lakes has developed so extensive in the past 5, 6, even 10 years. You've got the cabins that are fun to rent. You've got the boats that you can go and paddle. You go spend a day, and that's super inexpensive. Camping there or even just staying there for the day, I think it's like a $6 entry. They have the splash pad. It's a great place to have birthday parties. And in Santee, if you ever drive down Mission Gorge, you always have like community banners, right? So what's next? And then it's right there on that banner as you're driving down Mission Gorge to remind you, like, this is the next family-filled event that we have here, which is pretty cool. You don't see that in a lot of towns nowadays in our county. So I think when you do find it, it's a little bit of gold. Chad, where are you seeing that in Santee? Are you seeing, I know you were talking more suburban development, more suburban residential, but are you seeing like the parks and things like that as a huge plus in these areas that continues to drive the demand?
Oh yeah, it's that park-like atmosphere is something that residents of San Diego are going after and they're seeking out, and it's at a good price point. The market in San Diego County is still competitive, but it's shifting, and the numbers do tell the story. In Santee, the median household income is around $110,000, so you've got a strong, stable buyer base. Home values are sitting right around the high 700s, with median prices roughly in the same range. Now, here's the shift. Prices have softened slightly, about 3 to 4% year over year. Homes are taking a little longer to sell, and inventory is starting to increase. That combination is creating opportunity. A year or two ago, it was a sprint. Now it's more of a strategy game. Buyers can negotiate, you can do inspections, you can actually take a breath before making a decision. And for VA buyers, that's huge. Those benefits are finally working with you instead of against you. And for sellers, the market is still strong, but pricing is right. Bottom line, the fundamentals are strong, but the shift is giving buyers a real shot again in Santee.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Chad, quick question for you. We represent 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, and we have a lot of investors looking for opportunities in different regions of San Diego. With Santee, do you see more residential primary residences, or has there been a growth of investors purchasing properties and adding an ADU or adding a small, a tiny home in the back, and buying properties for investments in Santee? What's the trend over there?
Yeah, I feel like Santee is mostly single-family homes, not a lot of condo developments per se, and also you have the home ownership. People will go to Santee and they stay. They want to live there. They want to enjoy it out there. They want to live the best of both worlds. They want to be in San Diego and have all the fun activities to do throughout the city, but also be just over the hill away from it in a calm environment. And that's really what Santee is.
When your price point under 800,000, like great bullseye, right? And truly there's a lot of 55 and up communities in this area that have space rents that a lot of people go and choose to retire within. Santee has some rent control that other areas in our county do not have for 55 and up age, which makes it sometimes an exit strategy that people really do look for.
Oh, one thing I noticed from the Stephanie, go ahead. One thing I noticed is when I did deals over there. One, a lot of the homes were built in like the 70s and the 80s. About like half of them were in that area. So there's a lot of good value adds, fix and flips, all that kind of stuff. And most of them aren't old enough to like cross the threshold of like it needs like a lot of work. So a lot of these can end up like cosmetic flips, like the one we're going to talk about later. But that being said, most of these properties have decent chunk lots. So they have like 5 to 10K lots. And they're very accessible for ADUs, adding value, or if you're going to do a 55 plus, assuming the HOA community allows it, like having an extra home for your parents, anyone you're going to retire with, or even if you're going to have kids again. So little things like that, just to look out for.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, everybody. Tracy Hassey, Ticor Escrow. Are you seeing an increase in seller credits, rate buy downs, repair negotiations? Because, when it comes to those things and the deal's becoming more complex, what that means for you when you're taking it to the finish line and signing that contract and entering escrow, you need to have the experienced team that is going to help you move through the process from the net sheets, pre-open escrow, and really that communication is the game changer. So what are you finding a lot of that out in the in Santee and East County? Deals that have those things?
I think as we watch interest rates continue to react to things that are going on in our world, I mean, in my own world, I feel like we've been on a rate roller coaster since the beginning of time. And a lot of people try to predict from the past, but here's reality. And that's where Chad was mentioning, like, strategy is key, because we really aren't in the economic place right now to look at the past to predict the future. And I think that's the hardest thing for people to understand is the cycles that we used to be in even 10 years ago just are not here today. A lot of people are waiting for the summer to be the spike this year, but true story in my world right now, the past 2 years, I've watched those interest rates dip only first quarter. And we just did it again in 2026. And so in my world, what ahead is summer panic in a seller world. And sellers that don't have time are going to end up giving away things that they wouldn't normally do because they're extremely stressed and have to sell. And unless interest rates start to cool off between now and then, which I know everyone's always looking at, but that's where your strategy is key, because rate's just one very small piece of the puzzle. When a consumer looks at buying a house, or an investor, that rate, not an investor, but in the consumer world, they're looking at a rate as like the biggest factor. And that's truly not always the true story in that space. Stephanie, are you seeing the same in your world when you're out there negotiating?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I had a real question for Chad. In the Santee area, what are the lot sizes like to add an ADU or a tiny house? Is that area good for that?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's a good proportionate as any other city in East County for those opportunities.
So like larger than 25,000 square foot lots?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
You can even get away with it.
Rolling that into. Oh, sorry, Martin.
Oh, no, you're good. Just anything like 10K plus, honestly, as long as the zoning in the area allows it. And obviously it's like per little district, per city, it has its own ADU zoning, but most of the areas in here are pretty lenient on it. So as long as you have the room and you have the proper permits, you should be able to add a decent sized ADU, assuming the lot is obviously flat and zonable.
Right. And then is that unincorporated? Does anyone know? Just because they've changed the laws with that too.
It is.
It is. Cool.
It is.
So yeah, let's get into economic development. Let's talk more about that.
Yeah, thanks, Stephanie. Santee benefits from the bigger San Diego economy. You got military, tech, healthcare. That diversity helps keep things stable. The military presence is a big driver. Again, as I stated earlier, with Naval Base San Diego and Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, there's always housing demand. That means a strong resale value and solid rental potential, coupled with available inventory as those military owners transfer stations. You'll see that stuff come up. At the same time, Santee is growing. You got more retail, as Nicole mentioned earlier. There's more development going on and more convenience to the consumer. So you're not just buying a home, you're really buying into a growing area. This is a steady market, not a risky one in Santee.
Totally.
Thank you.
What do you think, Stephanie?
I think the investor takeaway. Oh, go ahead, Steph.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that is kind of like the last frontier back there. I mean, with new home building and it's, you kind of are almost or you are East County, but still close enough in. So I'm like Lennar, KB Homes, are they going crazy out there?
Yes.
I'll throw in real quick. There's a place, Big Sky Ranch, I call it the La Jolla of Santee. Big Sky Ranch has beautiful views up at the top of the mountain. There's also a beautiful development that was just built not very long ago, right along Santee Lakes. And truly, I was just there not very long ago. It looks like they're grading right above it and to the right or left of it for a new development. And there's condos that have been in infill, where they've been infilling certain areas of Santee that are popping up with condos. And those new condos are sitting in like the $600,000 to $700,000 range. Some of these communities are very well built and well put together. Low HOA fees still also exist in this area, so the demand driver is there to keep it affordable, with financing open also for many of these communities, with all of them open, which always, we know, opens up your buyer demand to the highest pond, right? Mm-hmm. Chad, I know you have some insight there too that you've been watching.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought while you were talking. I was like, I don't like
the new builds.
I don't like the new builds.
I'm happy to see this new builds in Santee. Like I said, I grew up in East County. I've been around there a long time. It was my playground when I was a kid, and there wasn't always a lot of new development, but that's been most recently in the last 5 years. You're starting to see it go up in the hill and spread out a little bit into those nice areas. And as you get up on the hill, those views are going to get amazing. I know it.
Well, and I love the name Big Sky. My mom was from Montana. It's like Big Sky, Montana. So pretty. But I have a question. I read about expansion around the Santee Trolley Square and retail hubs. And I've not been out to Santee in a while, so I'm not aware of this. But it just sounds like there's a lot of sustained growth in that East County corridor, which is really having that infrastructure is huge for then building the homes around it, right? Are you seeing a lot of that construction happening? Chad?
Yeah, they built that brand new community or shopping center where the trolley comes right in now from El Cajon. So you're getting
nice
houses out there. Okay. And it's easier.
Where else does the trolley go? So it goes from Santee to El Cajon. Is it take you all the way downtown or to Mission Valley?
Yeah, it'll connect through East County now. So from Santee, I believe, is the end of the line right now, and it'll take you into El Cajon, into La Mesa, and then down into San Diego City. So you can really get anywhere. Public transportation out there in Santee.
Yes. Well, I know the trolleys, they built them a lot more throughout San Diego, and that's awesome. Minimize traffic, hop on the trolley. Go for an adventure.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So this goes to where?
Well, I was going to add one more thing.
We got transition. Let's go to learning local deals.
Okay, perfect. Learning local deals with Martin.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Stephanie and Chris. It's time for my favorite segment of the Learning Local San Diego podcast, and that's the Learning Local Deals, where we're going to bring you real deals in real time. None of these fake deals that other wholesalers bring you or that other individuals bring you without even having contract on it. So that being said, before we get started, I'd like to thank my personal friends, both Mr. Carlsbad, John and Eris Adnaganos. Awesome. I love the new ads we're creating. Just awesome job to our producer, Emerson, and to you, Ruben, for just the quality of work we're putting out now. So I love it. I'm a big fan. But with that, let's get into our deal. We're going to be staying in Santee in the Santana Hills neighborhood. This deal is currently on the market. It was purchased as a 4.2, 1,530 square foot property. This is one of those before and after deals where we're going to talk about kind of some of the work they did to the property and some of the work that is still needed, in my opinion. But it's currently listed for a little under $1 million. And it had unpermitted bathroom or bedroom. So now it's a 3.2, same square footage, 1970 build. But overall, it's super clean, especially with the new remodel on the inside. It's a 3-bed, open concept kitchen, marble island, and the backyard. The landscaping is really like the main thing that it needed. So a lot of these Santee properties, curb appeal and landscaping are the two biggest drivers for increasing property value. So Chad, Stephanie, Nicole, any of you guys in the Lakeside, Santee area, what do you guys think about these kind of deals, purchasing them, doing fix and flips in Santee?
I love this area. This area of Santee is one of my favorites. This is the east side of Santee. You find more of a calm. You're away from all the commercial. You're in a very established residential feel when you're in this area. And a lot of the lots around you are larger than this. So this does have a smaller lot than what's average for the area. But I think the things that you're doing to it, and the pool, you guys in Santee, you can never go wrong with a pool in the East County. We do get ocean breezes, but it's not like being in Chula Vista. You know, it's just not the same, right, Chad?
Oh yeah. You know, it gets a little warm in Santee. So, but I really like what they did with this property. You can tell that this backyard could have been, you know, on the smaller side. Well, it is factually on the smaller side, but I like how they did it. You have a sitting area. There's they fit a pool back there. You know, those are all big things that buyers are going to want to see, and they're going to take advantage of those perks so that when they, you know, after their long day at work, they come home, they have a nice place to relax, you know, even if it's on the smaller side. So, and also in Santee, you know, these homes are built in the 1970s. So I'm happy to see that these updates are getting done and these rehabs are getting done, and hopefully, you know, they can compete with these new builds coming up.
What do you
There's
think?
no HOA.
There's not a lot of HOAs in these residential neighborhoods, though. So when you have the 70s, 80s, and 90s that were built, we don't run into a lot of, we have no Mello-Roos in Santee that you run into, a lot of lack of assessment. So, you know, you're not having things where you've got monthly costs that are above and beyond. And insurance is a big conversation. Insurance in this area is not like being out even 20 minutes from here. You know, if I go east 20 minutes, I have a whole different insurance base. When I'm here in Santee, a lot of these areas have no California Fair Plan requirement, which is a huge plus in your monthly affordable when you're looking for that home.
Chris,
Well,
what do you
that's
think?
actually really nice to know that there's actually values. I mean, for a lot of our viewers who are looking for values, they're going further east. And it's nice to know that Santee still has price points around the mid to high 700s where they can actually get, you know, a larger piece of land, or there's no Mello-Roos and the insurance rates. Is it because it's not really in a fire zone? That's why the insurance rates are not so high?
Correct. You have a whole different scape in this area, more infill and more concrete around you, which leaves less risk and less insurance costs, which are all positives. But truly, when you're in the area of this home, you feel the country around you. This is covered and surrounded by mountain areas, and there are lots of places, parks. Another good positive to Santee is you're in a conduit of freeways that attach to all the other freeways. So if I get on the 52, the 125, or the 67, they all take me to the 805, the 163, all of them, all of the freeways I can connect to from Santee.
Well, what I like
wow.
about, go ahead, Martin.
One of the things I liked about it is you could almost classify this as a cosmetic flip because it did need a roof and a lot of the property siding had to be redone. But besides that, like the interior was extremely clean. The roof wasn't a horrible condition. It was only 7 years old. The HVAC had to be redone, but that one was also fairly new. New garage door, but the inside was super clean. The floor, the basic rehab, like the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedrooms. But besides that, they didn't have to put in too much money or effort into the rehab. The only thing I will say is I think they priced it a little high, which is why it's been sitting for, I think it's 66 days now. But a big advocate for maybe underprice it, and then it'll eventually sell for what it's worth. So,
yeah, this area is one that investors attack heavily. If I have a listing hitting the market in Santee, I know I'm going to hit extremely hard the first 24 hours with investor activity. And truly, in my role, that's the owner-occupied gold. You know, if you have someone like me or Chad or anyone on the screen helping you, we know things like 203Ks. This is a place that I would bring someone owner-occupied. Look at a house like this, purchase it for 700,000, put 50,000 into it, and get a 925 return very quickly without a lot of riffraff going on. So this was not a heavy lifter. It was a cosmetic fixer. And this is an area that totally still exudes that demand. I hit the market off market with a property that was full of stuff. Full of stuff, and got top dollar for it broken. And they flipped that thing and got, an easy $200,000 profit position within less than 6 months. That doesn't happen in our world.
Well, hey, it's so awesome. I'm learning so much from all of you about Santee, and what I really am thinking here, Santee is a quiet growth market. It's not flashy. You've got space, you've got family, you've got the infrastructure really supporting this growth, and the people living there. Like you said, Nicole, you don't have to go into Mission Valley. You go to your mini Mission Valley in Santee, right? And really what this brings is more transactions, first-time home buyers. And what does first-time home buyers mean? For maybe initial investors that are new to investing, that means more education. So you're going to get the education from the experts on the show, but even from escrow. We're not just escrow. We really are strategic transaction partners to bring the deal to the finish line. So that's kind of what I'm seeing.
True story.
All right, let's transition to events. Let's transition to events, guys.
Awesome. Woohoo, I love that dance music. We're getting the party started here. So once again, Tracy Hassey, VP of Escrow Sales, Ticor Escrow Services, your super connector here. And this is my favorite part of the show. I love the Learn in Local events. As a super connector, this is fantastic for leverage to connect with all of you in the ethers out there. But I'm telling you, being able to connect in person is a game changer. And we're going to be doing that today. So we're going to get into the events. But before we do that, I want to thank our sponsor.
Smart real estate investing starts with the right partner. At HLM Group LLC, we guide investors through every stage, from acquisition to full service management. Whether short, mid, or long-term rentals, we transform properties into high-performing, fully booked spaces. Design, staging, leasing, hospitality. We don't just manage properties, we create experiences that feel like home. Because the best investments deliver more than returns. They become places where life happens and memories begin. HLM Group LLC, own the property, we'll craft the experience.
Once again, thank you, HLM Group LLC. We are always grateful for your sponsorship. So let's roll into some events. Well, today, who's going today? Sky High Connections, Del Mar Meet and Greet with Anastasia with the Sellstate Real Estate. It is going to be from 2 to 4. And it's such an incredible opportunity to cap off the week, meet great people, share big ideas, and really put deals together and meet each other in person and edify each other, right? So I think, who else going today?
Oh, I'm 100%.
Everybody?
Yeah, we're all
Mostly
going.
everybody?
Amazing.
All right, mostly everybody.
I have to work.
Excited to see you all there.
All good. Next time.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then this one we have Saturday, April 18th, 10 a.m. at Windmill Canyon. This is Stop Running, Start Building Equity, your VA loan workshop for military buyers. And Chad, who is one of our guests here, influencers, is going to be hosting that with additional and Bailey, who's also been on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that looks like an amazing event.
Yeah.
This is actually, Tracy, I'm going to just add real quick. It's on base. This is on Camp Pendleton.
Oh, it's on Camp Pendleton.
Cool.
Wow.
Military.
That is
You
awesome.
do a real military experience. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
I'm
That
excited.
sounds and so it's open to the public and people can go even if they're not in the military or no, Stephanie's shaking her head.
No,
for
yeah, you
Camp
can't get on
Pendleton.
base.
So
Military.
it's on base for the military on base. Okay. That's good to know because some people might think, oh, I want to go. And it turns out they can't.
If you have base access, you are invited.
Call
right.
for access if you want to go.
Yeah.
Call Chad.
Call Chad.
There's my number right up there.
I love it. I love it. And then we have our Learn a Local Lifeline Challenge, and those are Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. So tune in whether you're tuning in from LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear from you. And we're just going to be talking shop. And each week it's a little different subject matter, but we are here to answer your questions no matter what they are. And then we have week 2, how to get financially prepared and approved in our series. And that is
really want to quickly talk about that. Obviously, as someone in the mortgage business, private lending specifically, financing is super important, y'all. So after you decide, so the whole Lifeline Challenge is set up for anyone who wants to take the real estate investment journey challenge from week 1 to week 6. Week 1, what we did was help people decide what strategy they want to, make money with real estate. Because oftentimes people just have shiny object syndrome and they can't focus. You know what I mean? You can't pick 10 different strategies and win at all 10. Pick something, focus, and do it correctly. And once you have decided, then you can talk to professionals who can help you get finance for that specific strategy. And that's what week 2 is all about. We have Cadillac Chris is going to be there as well, talking 1031 and taxes and how that affects it. We'll have Harry Houdini, who's in conventional mortgage, talking as well. And obviously I'll be there to help anyone who's buying a non-occupied property. So sorry, Tracy, I just wanted to make sure.
I love it. I love it. This is your baby. And I think you piping in is critical here to give people more insights as to how valuable this is going to be for them. So week number 3, how to find the best deal buying real estate. So that's another impactful. Do you want to pipe in more, Coach Rue?
Martin, why don't you talk about really quick what week 3 is all about? You'll be there.
Yeah, me and my colleague Ali will be on it. That one's just really finding the best deal for you, how to locate it, whether it's on the MLS, it's off market, or if you buy it through a wholesaler. So we're really going to break down all the specifics on green flags, red flags, and what to look for.
I love it. And Martin and Ali are such a wealth of information and really have their pulse on the market as to what's happening out there. So you definitely want to tune into that and tune into them. So, and they are with Oak Rock Real Estate Investments. So week 4, how to analyze your real estate construction options. Yes, because as you know, you're probably going to be doing some fixing and flipping out there. So super excited about that smart analysis.
Hey, really quick, Tracy, I just want to let all the contractors know out there that might be there that want to provide real information on live. We don't have a contractor on our team who's essentially committed to being this person. So if you know any great contractors, please let us know, comment, tag, because we really want to find the great ethical ones that don't want to steal anyone's money, for sure.
100%. Yeah. And I just recently met one, because I don't meet you contractors very often, but when I do, and it's, I meet you at different things, different events, and I meet you through people that I already know are successful and trust. They have vetted you, in fact. So it's exciting. Then we want to have you on the show, help you get more business. Week number 5, how to protect your investment and close your first deal. Woo-hoo-hoo. So yes.
That's where Tracy, you're going to be on that. You're going to be doing.
Right. Okay.
Escrow. You might want to.
Yeah, I was just going to say that really gets into escrow and how are you safeguarding your deal from wire fraud and cybercrime. And with Ticor, the reason I'm here, we are a Fortune 300 and we are safeguarding your deals. We got that financial strength and backing to really. To really tend to the risk management. So you're going to learn about the risk management when it comes to bringing your signing the contract and taking your transaction through escrow. So the next one is week 6, how to build your real estate empire via 1031 exchanges, and our one and only, the king of 1031s, Chris Estelera.
Yeah, because we're going to go into details. Yeah, we're going to go into details about how you can start with just one property. And most investors started out with one property 15 to 20 years ago, And now they have a significant portfolio of real estate utilizing the 1031 tax deferred exchange, which has been around for over 100 years. And we're going to show you how to defer your capital gains taxes and keep rolling your investments, keep kicking down the can, and keep getting and acquiring more properties, building a legacy of wealth for your heirs. So I'm super excited about that.
Great.
Awesome. And then we've got Coronado's Simi Rush of Costa Modern Properties, and that is going to be our show next week, April 24th already. Can you believe it, you guys? But Simi is awesome. She and her husband is in the military. If you see some of those big giant ships going through the bay, her husband literally runs one of those. So yeah, they're amazing. And then we've got the real estate industry networking event at L. Smith Brewing, and that is April 22nd from 6:30 to 9, and that is in downtown San Diego. So that's a ton of fun. We've got a little bit of everybody there. And then SDA, or San Diego Association of Realtors, the commercial division is hosting an event called Showcasing Innovative Development Strategies. That is April 23rd. And you can go to sdar.com to register, or you can just go to Eventbrite and search for that event and get registered. But they always host incredible events. So see you there. And then what do we have here? It looks like Boots, Bites, and Rodeo with Sellstate. Nicole, you want to share any more about that one?
Yes.
Definitely. Rodeo weekend is coming, you guys. So get on your cowboy hats, get on your cowboy boots, and get out to Lakeside for a whole weekend of fun. We're going to kick it off on Friday here at the office from 2 to 4 p.m. And then on Saturday, we have a VIP pit in front of our office. The parade goes right by our office, and we will be in the parade. So come out. It comes along Woodside and also Main Avenue here in Lakeside. It is a fun day just to get out and be small town community fun and cheer on the people that are out there. We have the schools, the bands, the sports, local community organizations that are here. It's just a lot of fun.
Man.
And Coach, I know you're looking still for a reason to get your boots out here, so I'm just saying.
I gotta tell you what, my wife went to Tennessee, bought her 10-gallon hat and her boots, and I need a reason to go. And what's great is I don't even have to go to Tennessee. I can go to Lakeside.
Yeah.
I have a VIP pit seat for all of you if you'd like to come.
And you know what? Because you guys are the only 10 I see, by the way. So really quick, I'm going to bring up the comments because you know what? We are here live, and we appreciate all the folks that tune in live. So Anastasia, the Muns are the best. I think she was referring to the comment about Big Sur and Big Bear. Anastasia, thank you so much. We will see her. We see you later today at 2:00. Miss Christine Carlton, see you at the Sky Deck. We met at the University Club where I was with Tracy and Harry Houdini, who couldn't be on here today. Thank you so much. You know, we do have a question from her, and I'll just do this really lightning because I want to help her out. Where do you feel like the 1% rule does work in San Diego? Anywhere? Does it work anywhere, y'all? What do you guys think?
I'm hesitant on that.
Okay. The answer might
to get to a city where it works. Truly, our price points are so vastly gapped.
Yeah.
From
Prices are so high that that calculation doesn't make sense. That's why we see a lot of investors making significant increases in real estate here, their equity, and then they're rolling it into other states where the 1% rule does apply. You know, Texas, Arizona, Nevada, just all these other states where the 1% rule does apply. But prices here are so high, so that may not apply.
100%. Well, maybe the rule of thumb is that the prices can't be that high. They have to be. I mean, would anyone give a number to how high the price point would be before the 1% rule breaks? That would be a good answer to provide.
Let's say it this way. I can take you out to like Campo, and I'm in a $400,000 place. Okay. But my rental demand's not bringing $4,000 a month for rent. So even if I go very far, now here's the game changer, y'all. If I'm doing vacation short rentals, or even rentals where I'm catering to people like corporate, relocation companies, people that are struggling to get housing here in our county, there is a lot of money being made in that short-term space. And again, if I'm in an unincorporated area where I can develop a little differently, bring Stephanie in and bring some tiny houses on my land and get away with some rental income, like she was talking, taking the house and turning it into a bunch of bedrooms. It's happening a lot right now. Same thing with land that you're watching development. It all goes back to our county and what they allow you to do. And right now, San Diego County is probably the loosest I've ever seen them in the time that 20 years I've been in real estate, to be able to make a move to develop. So I always tell my clients, like, if you're going to develop, try now, because we have the loosest channels open of being able to do things you couldn't do 10 years ago.
Got it.
Well, the laws just changed too for the tiny house development. Yeah.
I just want to make sure we pull up everything we have here. We do have one more question, and I want to see if we can just do a lightning response. What are the dimensions needed to do an ADU, or what's the space required in Santee to do an ADU?
Depends on the setback.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Christine, that's your answer. Christine, thank you so much for watching. Christine loves Nicole, but who doesn't love Nicole? Come on. Harry Houdini, insightful information. Harry's in Detroit today, and he couldn't make it. Next time, we're going to have you on. And
We miss you, Harry.
for sure. Last but not least, Anastasia, she says she can't wait, and she can't wait to see everybody. Wow. All right. Well, hey, we're going to try to get in under, we respect everyone's time. So we're going to make sure that we close before the top of the hour. But hey, if you like what you see, again, how we do this is we connect, collaborate, and create. So we connect primarily with professionals. And if you're not on LinkedIn, you don't exist as far as I'm concerned. If we collaborate on school, I'm going to show you this slide next, and then we create opportunities, we create ideas, we create innovations. Things happen, y'all, because we're talking, we're coordinating, we're collaborating, and we're creating. We're in the age where we have to create. Stop consuming so much information. Start creating your life for the better. If that's the last thing I say, I get hit by a bus in the next 10 minutes.
I knocked on wood for you.
But hey, honestly, for real, if you like what you see, this is a call for help. Everything that you see on the internet, as far as I'm concerned, is AI slop, and you shouldn't trust it. For your sake and for the sake of your community members, people that live around you, you deserve, if you know what you're doing, if your intentions are correct, and you are working with amazing people. Chad works with Nicole, right? It's just, you have to align yourself with people who want to help you achieve your goals. And that's why I'm Coach Rue. I love everyone here. They're just amazing. The fact that you guys are here and not somewhere else, you're accountable for what we have said today. If someone has a problem with you, they should call you and be like, hey, I want some clarification on what you said, Stephanie. Might have misheard you. And that's the way we get along, y'all. Don't jump to conclusions. We're here live. If you think first thing before you call Stephanie or anyone else, you should just rewatch the thing. Because you know what? These guys are on here because I trust what they say. And I will get hit by a bus with them. But no, we will not get hit by a bus.
No.
So anyhow, please join school. Again, we need a GC. We need a lot of great people here as well. Thank you so much for watching. I respect your time. And if you are available later in Del Mar, we want to have a drink with you. Chris is going to be pouring the Cadillacs. Cadillac margarita. It's gonna be awesome. So until next time, y'all, have an amazing Friday. Freedom is up to you. You got to educate yourself. We are all learning. But we might as well be learning from these amazing folks, because everyone here is here to help you out. Please reach out, call us or email us, and we'll make sure to help you out. Again, Miss Lakeside, Miss Vista, Cadillac, Chris, Eminem, Queen of Events, and Chad. I'm gonna have to give you an avatar name because it's
coming.
Something I don't know, something Santee based. I don't know. Maybe we'll think about it during drinks. But hey, guys,
Sounds good.
amazing Friday. Cheers.
You too.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Make it a great day. Take care.
Thanks, Steph.